Former President Obama went to...
Release the list. 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 Seriously, we need to release the FC list. Kids running. I'm here to go out and enjoy myself.
All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is August 1st. This year is fucking flying by. I don't know why. I was like, when does fall start? Like September, right? So like literally within 2 months, not even like a month from now, fall is here. Which, on one point, it bothers me because it's terrifying how fast this year flew by. I feel like yesterday was like winter. And there's another part of me of how hot this summer has been, that it's like, yeah, I'm ready for fall. Even though this year flew by, like, I'm ready for fucking fall. Told you guys I'd be starting out with intro music when I'm here at the house. That was Andre Antunes. He's pretty cool. What he does is he takes like famous clips of stuff, and he'll make like metal versions, or like that was Theo Von and JD Vance talking about releasing the Epstein list, and so he made a song into it. His work is awesome. He plays bass, guitar. Go check it out. Andre Antunes, I think is his last name. I'm probably butchering it, but shout out to him. So I haven't been podcasting for a little bit. Ain't gonna lie, dude, I've been fucking busy. Which is good. Just doing chores around the house. Like yesterday, took out the trash. Had a bunch of boxes I had to break down here at the house. Had to work on my car a little bit. Muffler was falling down. Had to go out, do some shopping. My mother-in-law is trying to sell her truck, so I had to go get her like a for sale sign and shit. Yard work, all that jazz. I've just been too busy to podcast and work. But so it was like 3 days that I went without podcasting, and it was kind of funny. Like, I was talking to my wife, and I kept noticing that I would go on little rants here and there, and she would just like listen, you know. And that's honestly how the podcast started. Was I was going through like a really big bookworm phase, which I do that here and there, and then take a couple years off. And I was reading like conspiracy books like all the fucking time, like just burning through them. I'm talking like reading a book in like a week, and then just grab another one, read it all the way through, cover to cover, just burning through conspiracy books. And I'd sit there and rant and rant and rant. And I was listening to like Tinfoil Hat and William Cooper and stuff, and she's like, honey, why don't you start a channel and just talk on it? Not that it was getting on her nerves, but like I'm like very like like want to talk, you know. Yeah. So like we'd be running around and I'd just be ranting about conspiracy shit. And I'd look over and I'd be like, can you tell I ain't podcasted in 3 days? And she'd start laughing like, yeah, because this helps me get it out. So today's going to be a little bit political heavy. I know that a lot of people, there's a lot of black-pilled people out there who are like, I don't want to fucking hear politics. It's all a charade. It's all distraction, blah, blah, blah. I disagree. I always think politics are important because they tell you what they're going to do. It's lesser magic. Revelation of the method. And yeah, they need our consent for shit. And I think these are the chess pieces. Is this the chess master? No. I don't know who the chess master is. I'm guessing it's probably a Rockefeller or a Rothschild who's a Sabbaty and Frankist, honestly. You know, and they're pulling the strings, but they still have chess pieces they have to use. So why would you not focus on the game and the chess pieces? Because it affects your life, whether you like it or not. And I'm sorry you have to get into politics. And look, I do my fun episodes, you know. I do my paranormal episodes. I do my alien episodes. But there's important shit that I want to talk about. So, that involves politics. So let's get on with the show. So this one always gets me. I told you guys I was a big Q-tard. And I was on the Trump train years ago. He was actually the first president I ever voted for. During his second campaign trail, when he quote-unquote lost to Joe Biden, I reported on the whole election theft a lot during that time period, because there was tons of evidence for it. And I was like, how do people not see they're going to steal this shit? And they are currently stealing this shit. So I had always heard that, like, George Bush had his election stolen. Al Gore. Sorry. Al Gore had his stolen from George Bush. And I was a child, though. So I would just go, okay. You know, Sam Tripoli talks about it. But he's, like, 50-something years old. So he's seen it happen. So I already knew that elections were stolen a lot. And this is the first time I actually seen it, though. And it just, like, was driving me nuts, so I reported on it like crazy. I did not, however, report on the whole Russian collusion shit much. But it did not surprise me. I listened to Tinfoil Hat and would listen to Sam talk about it. So I just find it funny. Thankfully, people are actually waking up more and more. And where I have this job now, at the gas station, I'm actually seeing it. Like, a lot of people are coming in and just saying little things here and there. And I'm like, oh shit, like, this person's awake. You know? We are growing in numbers, conspiracy theorists, which is amazing. So that's good. But I do find it funny that we get gaslit by, like, normie family members and blue pill family members of, like, you're crazy. But why is it that, like, shit that we were talking about, like, 5-10 years ago is, like, being proven true? So here recently, like, everyone, all these, like, groveling Trump supporters, and I'm sorry, hey, I used to be one of y'all, are, like, you know, celebrating Trump's little wins and shit, which is fine, but they're all getting into that hopium bullshit that QAnon was pushing of, like, okay, the dossier was proven false. There's evidence proving that Obama and Hillary were making this Russian hoax shit up. And now we can throw them in prison. And Trump's posting AI videos of Obama getting arrested. And people are posting AI images of Obama in a jumpsuit with handcuffs. And it's like, I've talked about this before. Y'all were celebrating Klaus Schwab. And I'm not saying you, the listener, who's a long-time listener. I'm saying, like, these blue-pilled people. Y'all were talking about Klaus Schwab's getting investigated. He's going to get locked up. The World Economic Forum was investigating Klaus Schwab. Who invented the World Economic Forum? Klaus Schwab's father, and Klaus Schwab took it over. Like, I investigated myself and found myself innocent. It's the government investigating the government. Would I love to see Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton behind bars in Guantanamo Bay? Yeah, that would be lovely. Is it going to happen? No, I'm not going to get my hopes up. But I will report on it, you know. And I'm not black-pilled, by the way. My thing is I'm white-pilled of, like, trust no one but yourself. And if you can't trust yourself, you know, trust in God. Whatever form that is that it takes for you. But let's get into something that I found interesting. So Putin knew Hillary Clinton had physical and psycho-emotional problems, but kept it quiet during the 2016 campaign, says Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know much about Tulsi Gabbard. I've heard a lot of people love her, you know. I wonder, is she the one who's a Democrat but is like super fucking cool? Am I wrong? The only one I really kept up with, who I got really big into, was like the Paul family, like Rand Paul and Ron Paul. I like the Kennedys, RFK, and I like what's the other one who's like a congressman or something. He's real Southern, and he says like these old phrases that are hilarious. I don't even know if he's related to the actual other Kennedys, but there's not many politicians I like. So I don't know much about Gabbard, ain't gonna lie. I delve into politics like here and there, but after RFK dropped out, ain't gonna lie, I haven't been keeping up like I should be, because it's like, my dude's out, I don't care anymore. Russian intelligence obtained damaging information about... And by the way, is anyone surprised that Hillary Clinton has psychological issues? I mean, Sam Tripoli has talked about it and broke it down multiple times, that her father was literally like the mob boss who took over after Al Capone died, and he ran Chicago. She comes from like a cutthroat mafia fucking family, allegedly, you know? We'll have to do a deep dive on that shit, man, because that's fucking insane. Like, and it people are like it cracks me up, these blue pill, like, Democrats and shit who are like, oh, she's so sweet, she's like my grandma. It's like, she comes from a fucking mob lord's loins, dude. Like, I'm sure she was cutthroat, you know? I'm sure she was raised in a cutthroat society, family with a cutthroat mentality. Sorry I'm ranting so much, I just haven't podcasted in 3 days. Washington. Russian intelligence obtained damaging information about former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's health amid her 2016 presidential campaign, including evidence that she had quote-unquote psycho-emotional problems. Dun dun dun! No way Hillary Clinton's a psycho. And by the way, I suffer from mental illness, so I'm you know, I can throw a stone. I've been locked up in mental homes like 3 times, dude. Maybe more now. I lost count. I think 4 or 5. Including evidence that she had psycho-emotional problems that were treated with severe sedatives. So not just regular sedatives. Like, I was on aproprizole, which is schizophrenia medication, and they were like, this is heavy shit. Which, I mean, I guess, I believe whatever the... Oh, I shouldn't say that. That sounds horrible. I don't believe what the doctors say, because I was on aproprizole and I functioned fine. All it did was just mellow me out. Like, I was just like, yeah. Like, you could be like, hey, your cat got ran over. And I was still feeling, I was like, oh man, but I would process it better. Instead of going, fuck no, I'm gonna go get a case of beer and drink my sorrows away, I would just be like, that sucks. I'd shed a couple tears and be like, all right, now I gotta go to work, you know. I'll deal with it when I get home. Like, so for her to be on severe ones, I mean, I'm curious what they are, which maybe they'll tell, but yeah, and was she like, you know, was that why she was stumbling and taking off to that black van? Do you all remember that shit on 9/11? When the QAnon people were like, see, she got arrested, you know, including evidence that she had blah, blah, blah. So, but Vladimir Putin chose not to release it before that year's election because he thought the Democrat would win. So my thing is okay, the astounding revelations were contained in a September 18th, 2020 House Intelligence Committee report that reviewed Russia's influence on the 2016 contest and was declassified and made public Wednesday by Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. So this is all declassified shit from Tulsi Gabbard. Russia Foreign Intelligence Service, the SVR, possessed DNC communications that Clinton was suffering from intensified psycho-emotional problems, including uncontrolled fits of anger. No! Her lose her temper? No way. Aggression and cheerfulness. So sounds like she was very sporadic, like bipolar almost, like would freak out, angry, you know, aggressive towards her staff, I'm sure, and then like cheerfulness afterwards. Sorry about that. My wife was leaving. She's going to visit her dad today. She's off today. Yeah, she was off yesterday. She had to use a sick day. My mother-in-law's puppy, he's not a puppy, but he's a little guy. He's a Chihuahua. Had like an abscess tooth that was like swollen, like huge. And she was going to take him to the vet, but then it actually went down. So he still needs his tooth pulled though, because it's loose. So we're still going to take him to the vet to get some of his teeth yanked. So pray for the little guy, or you do that voodoo that you do so well. Alright, so she's like acting bipolar and shit. I'm not diagnosing her. By the way, none of this is medical fucking advice. I'm not a physician. Disclaimer for YouTube. Which, by the way, we need to do an episode on YouTube's new censorship shit. Apparently it's turning into a porn site where you have to scan your face now. Fucking ridiculous. So I probably will not be on this channel very long. On YouTube, if you're watching from YouTube. I'm still going to be on Spotify and Rumble, but you guys have got to get off of YouTube. I keep telling you guys that I love you all. This is not out of meanness. Get the fuck off of YouTube. The only reason YouTube is still flourishing is because you guys will not go to your search bar and go Rumble and make an account. I promise you, Rumble's good. Spotify's good. Is it a little bit slower? Yeah, it's not perfect. It's not YouTube. But it's good. And it's zero censorship. Once you start listening to uncensored stuff, it's like, whoa, I could actually look up Frazzle Drip and hear about people talking about Frazzle Drip or adrenochrome, the heaviest of the heavy conspiracies. You know, you can't do that on YouTube, man. Sorry. So, stated the report, which the committee based on 20 interviews with intelligence officers and FBI agents. So, 20 interviews. That's a lot. With intelligence officers and FBI agents. As well as a review of source material for the 2017 Obama-ordered report on Russian election meddling. Quote unquote, Clinton was placed on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers, and while afraid of losing, she remained obsessed with a thirst for power. By September 22nd, 2016, some of those communications showed then President Barack Obama and the Democratic Party bosses found the state of Clinton's health extraordinarily alarming and fretted that it could have a serious negative impact on her ability to beat Trump that November. Gee, you think? We were reporting on this shit during this time period. I did not have a podcast then. I was just doing small videos then. And finally I was like, you know what? I'm getting into podcasting. I'm turning my channel into a podcast channel. If you actually go to like my oldest shit, it was literally like 5-10 minute videos, you know. And then I just was like, no, I want to get into like more of a structured talk radio style where I can just be more free and talk, and I'm less quick to the point. And it's like, I don't want to be quick to the point. I want to talk about shit and my thoughts on it. And I love podcasting, you know. Honestly, I just fell in love with podcasting. So we reported on this shit where she was having like convulsions and shit and spitting out green alien eggs and falling down. When I was a Q-tard, I'm sure I was like, oh, she got arrested and they took her to Gitmo and now there's a clone, not a clone, but a body double. All that bullshit. Clinton, and she did hit her head during that time period. We talked about that shit too, man. She bonked her head like bad. Clinton, now 77, was apparently suffering from type 2 diabetes, ischemic heart disease, deep vein thrombosis, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease at the time. A full picture of the former First Lady's condition was guarded by Clinton's advisors with the strictest secrecy. The SVR also possessed a campaign email during a plan approved by Secretary Clinton to link Putin and Russian hackers to candidate Donald Trump in order to distract the American public from the Clinton email server scandal. That was the whole Pizzagate shit. We covered a bunch of it, man. Creepy shit. So, we will jump back to this, but I want to talk about someone else's health problems. Donald Trump. So, you all know me. I am not a Trump-tard. I almost thought about voting for him. I actually did a whole episode talking about it. So go back during my shit. I covered mostly RFK, like, of what was going on with him. And when I seen that he was dropping out, so that way the lesser of two evils could win, Trump, which I truly do believe he is the lesser of two evils. It is what it is. I'm not a Trump guy. My wife voted for him. I didn't vote last election. I was going to, so that way I could still get RFK in as far as, like, his place in the cabinet. But, I'm glad I didn't even do that. Because it's starting to look like Trump's a fucking chomo. That he's on the list. Release the list. So I'm glad I didn't. My conscience is clear. So, this actually came out before this recent Russia gate shit and Hillary Clinton's meds that she was taking. It's very interesting. So I wonder if someone in the media was like, let's talk about Trump's health problems, right before all of this Hillary Clinton shit about her on medication and her mental illness coming out. I noticed things. I used to be a journalist, I noticed these things, and there's trends, and so that being said, Trump actually came out, as far as I'm concerned, and was telling people, hey, I'm going through some health problems. Unlike the former president, and I'm not picking sides, it's two wings of the same bird, but I do have to shots fired when I see ridiculousness. We were gaslit during the entire administration of Joe Biden. When he was running, I was like, there's no way, this dude is senile as fuck, there's no way he's gonna win. And when he won, I went, whoa, what the fuck? Then, the whole time, he can barely string a sentence together. Just senile, dementia, not good, running the country. And we're told, no, he's fine. And then you got Jake Tapper, who was like saying, yeah, he's fine. And then comes out afterwards, writes a book, makes millions, I'm sure. And is like, yeah, dude, he was fucked up, man. At least Trump is like, I do have to give him a little pat on the back for that. At least he's coming out and saying, hey, this is what's going on with me. So Trump has got health problems currently right now. 4 things to know about Trump's diagnosis of chronic venous insufficiency. So he's not doing too hot. Following recent reports that Donald Trump's ankles appeared swollen, the White House has confirmed that Trump has been diagnosed with chronic venous insufficiency. I have no clue what this is, by the way, so I'm learning along with you. If the president's annual physical President's annual physical exam released in April, Navy Captain Sean Barbella said Trump's blood flow to his extremities is unimpaired. President Trump exhibits excellent cognitive and physical health and is fully fit to execute the duties of Commander-in-Chief and Head of State, Barbarella wrote. I agree. We've had, what was it, Eisenhower? By the way, the Presidential Seal, real quick. The Presidential Seal was created on the front of the President's desk because one of the presidents, I believe it was Eisenhower, someone can hit me up in the comments, was in a wheelchair and hiding it from the American people. He didn't want to discourage the American people that he was like in a wheelchair. He didn't want people to think our leader is weak. It's kind of sad, really. But that's why they put the Presidential Seal there. He would get wheeled in. And, you know, it was something with his waist down was struggling, but he could, like, still, you know, move around and shit. You would never see him standing. He would address the American people, always sitting at a desk. So, you can still run a country while you're sitting on your throne with wheels. You know, the king can still sit on the throne and just roll around, dude. So I agree with this Barbella dude. If he has swollen ankles, if he has to use a cane or it wouldn't bother me. Cool. As long as you're mentally there, unlike Joe Biden. Weeks later, photographs began to emerge that showed bruises on Trump's hands. Which, by the way, old people bruise. Their skin becomes thin. We've just called them skin thin, the translucent, you know. Old people just bruise, you know. I bruise easy sometimes, dude. I can hit my arm on something and literally, like, it's like black and blue, and I'm like, when the fuck? Oh yeah, I hit it on the corner of that while working, like, which I probably am in poor health, but, you know, I don't go to the doctor. And swelling around his ankles, leading to questions about the accuracy of the president's health prognosis. So on July 17th, 17Q, dun-dun, the White House released a statement that confirmed Trump underwent a comprehensive examination that revealed he had chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition. The White House statement from Barbella, such a ridiculous last name, said, what country does that hail from? Sorry. Who added that President Trump remains in excellent health. So gaslighting. Historically, I mean, the guy can't be in good health. He literally eats an Egg McMuffin and chugs Diet Coke all day. That can't be fucking good. He loves McDonald's. That one always blew my mind. Like, you could be eating crab legs and steak dinners and you're eating McDonald's. I don't get it. It's weird. It's fucking weird. The guy's weird. He's weird. He eats Egg McMuffins every day. Every breakfast he eats Egg McMuffins. So, who said that historically the Trump administration has lacked transparency around the president's health. That's gaslighting. They literally hid Sleepy Joe in the basement for his entire term. So, for example, during the pandemic, Trump did not disclose that he and the First Lady, Melania Trump, had been vaccinated against COVID-19 until months after they received their doses, the New York Times reported in 2021. By the way, playing devil's advocate, go watch my old episodes. I was reporting on COVID-19 every single fucking day. My channel almost got shut down. I was getting strikes left and right because that was my hill that I would die on. I was not shutting up about election fraud and COVID-19. Those were the two most important things. COVID-19 was number one, top priority. They're taking over the fucking world. When did it become acceptable to just ask about someone's health and or medical history I grew up in the South. I grew up as a 90s kid. We were always told you do not talk about religion at the dinner table. You do not talk about politics at the dinner table. And a third one, you never ask about people's health problems. If they want to share it, that's fine. But you never just be like, hey, do you have herpes? Hey, are you on your period today? None of your fucking business. Did you take your vaccine? None of your business. I haven't been vaccinated since... Well, actually, I did get the Hep A shot. Only the first one, but that was like years ago. But, like, none of your fucking business. Why are... I mean, it's okay to... If you want to talk about it, that's fine. But why are we asking people... That was one thing that pissed me off about the whole COVID thing. Was like, did you get vaccinated? None of your business. Why does it matter? Why does it fucking matter? Leave me alone. I don't ask you if you took a shit this morning, you know? So, the only thing I want to know, if my president's running, is this dude okay? You know? If not, okay. So we're going into overtime here, but we will get into what is chronic venous insufficiency, which he's been diagnosed with. Chronic venous insufficiency develops when key valves in the leg veins no longer are able to help flow back up to the heart. Lay off the Mickey D's, homie. According to Cleveland Clinic, blood then collects in the legs and places pressure on veins, which can lead to an increase in pressure and discomfort if left untreated. So he's probably going to be hobbling around soon if it worsens. Get a cane, homie. Get a pimp cane. That's what I would do. I'd get some dope-ass fucking cane and rock it. This condition often... He's getting old, too, by the way, man. I mean, all of these motherfuckers are old. Career politicians, except for Trump. He's not a career politician, but they're all fucking old. When do we get a young, healthy dude? Oh, like RFK, like I wanted. Sorry. This condition often develops in people who spend a lot of time on their feet, said Dr. Scott Cameron, which he does fucking go out. He's not like Sleepy Joe. He does fucking go out all the fucking time for shit. He's running and gunning. Hence that Sudafed in his desk drawer. Sorry. A cardiologist. I told you, I don't like either side. At this point, with how the Epstein shit is going, release the list. Release the list. I'm just gonna... We're not dropping this shit. We are not dropping this shit. You know, our cardiologist who specializes in blood vessel disorders at the Cleveland Clinic, he pointed to Trump being an avid golfer. Well, spend more time in the office than golfing, buddy. Cameron added he also has noticed spend more time releasing the list. Condition in people who are older, sit for long periods of time, or have several pregnancies early in life. In his practice, Cameron said the condition is the most common in individuals who carry more weight than they ought to. Yeah, he's a chunky monkey. Lay off the McDonald's. Varicose veins are among the most common recognizable form of chronic venous insufficiency, Cameron said. So I just wanted to honestly get into the recent update that we have evidence and proof that Hillary Clinton is a psycho bitch, which we all knew, but it's nice to just have someone reassure you and go, you're not crazy, you know. She is batshit. But also Trump's falling apart too. And he's possibly a fucking chomo, allegedly. And he's probably on the list, allegedly. That's why he won't release the list. I think they're all fucking chomos. I'm tired of all of them. Two wings, same bird. We're all fucked. I'm just kidding. You all have a good day. Love one another. I'm glad to be back. I didn't purposely take this little break. I've just been busy with life. Hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you choose to donate $1, that would be dope. It would help the channel with papers, pens, flash drives, computer maintenance. I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the description below, wherever you're listening from. Love y'all. Have a good day.